Welcome to the Sussex Collaborative 4am Club. We're here to try and help people sleep better who are running businesses and share some advice to answer some of the problems and challenges that they're facing. Today we're joined by Ali Damond and Geoff Keeling, who are both L&D and HR experts, and they're going to share some of their advice that they're giving to clients. So Ali, do you want to kick off and just explain who you are and what you do?
Okay, yeah. Adastra HR is a consultancy that provides HR to small businesses, and with the background that we've got in corporate HR as well as small businesses, we're able to be an extension to the company team, be in the room next door. So I like to think of us as the Nanny McPhee of HR. When you need us, we're there. When you don't need us, we will be in the background keeping you legal and compliant. And during the current times in particular, it's when I think people are realising they need HR the most. So whether it's HR, health and safety, payroll, law, all of those elements, it's all about people.
Excellent. Geoff, do you want to?
Yeah, I run a consultancy that specialises in leadership, sales and team development.
Excellent. So I think, one of the big things at the minute, as you say, COVID's throwing everything up in the air. Everybody's very confused about what they're meant to be doing. What kind of real life challenges are you finding that your clients are coming to you looking for solutions for?
I think, the biggest thing is about staff and their communication and the way they're reacting to change. Because right now, whoever thought COVID was going to happen? We had no idea we were going into a pandemic. We had no idea what was going to lie ahead now and in the previous 6 months. So I think it's been about business owners trying to work out how do we survive and thrive, because ultimately nobody saw this coming. And it's about remaining agile, it's about adapting to change. And of course we're dealing with people and they're unpredictable, and human nature is really difficult to predict. So it's been all about just guiding business owners through and sort of navigating through these waters and finding solutions for them to help them stay on track and keep on track in the coming months as well.
Yeah. And Geoff, you deal a lot with corporates, don't you? So
Yeah.
How are you finding the same thing or different?
Yeah, a lot of what Ali's saying is in line with what I'm hearing, but also because I'm fortunate, quite a lot of my clients are running big organisations, they're dealing more with people that are less inclined to come back to work, and also the organisation quite often is happy for people to be at home and working from home. So we're trying to find ways of connecting with them via conferencing and so on, and making sure that when they do return, they feel comfortable, they feel engaged, they feel motivated, and they're part of the new world, whatever that is.
Yeah. And Ali, I guess some of the small businesses need their people back, but how are you finding that they're managing? Some people want to come back, some people don't.
Yeah. It's a huge challenge, and I think as Geoff says, you've got a real mixture. When you've got bigger premises, you've got more staff, you've got more resources to play with, you can actually be a lot more flexible, and you can say who actually wants to stay at home and work at home, who wants to come back in the office, because a big part of that is about saying what's going on in people's minds. Everybody's reacting very differently to COVID. Everybody wants to work, they want to get back to normal. I mean, how many parents of children have suddenly become homeschooling teachers overnight when they're actually running businesses or in roles in businesses where they want to be focusing on that. And so it's about saying, how do you actually keep moving forward with that? And how do you make sure that the business can operate with the right level of people in the right structure? And I think a lot of companies have now realised the benefit of home working. I've certainly found that companies in the past haven't wanted to encourage home working, maybe from trust issues, maybe from productivity concerns, performance management. But actually, now that we've been forced into working from home for 6 months, they're now seeing the benefits of that. Maybe they'll reduce the amount of desk space and rental space because they could have more people working at home and less people in the office. But at the same time, how do you keep that collaboration of the teams there? How do you keep that team cohesion, and how do you keep that engagement and motivation going where people don't become isolated and fragmented, and that almost becomes a degradation of team spirit? So with the bigger companies, I'm sure like Geoff may find that you've got that facility to be able to structure the team environment a lot better, but smaller businesses might need people in the office, they might need them in manufacturing sites or anything like that. And it's about how do you work through that, and how do you tap into what people are feeling from an anxiety perspective, maybe from a mental health perspective, from a health and safety perspective of creating a COVID secure environment.
So I guess, Ali, one of the challenges then for the business owners is, how they're managing it, and what, I suppose from a legal perspective, are there any things that they need to be aware of? Is there any advice that you would give on that basis?
Yeah. I think this is where the health and safety side of the business world has become even more in the higher profile. We're dealing with humans, we're dealing with clues in the title, human resources, but we're dealing with the health and safety of your people. COVID is now recognised as a workplace disease. The responsibility of the business owner is to make sure that the work environment is safe and secure and to remove that workplace disease. So it's about making sure that there are really good procedures in place, that we've got a really clear health and safety policy, that we've not just put a poster up on the wall, but we've talked to staff about it, that we've given them that reassurance to say that we've done risk assessments, that we've made the offices COVID secure, whether it's with sanitisers, hand washing, kitchen facilities, all that good stuff. To make sure that people are reassured about coming back in. And you can't just put a poster on the wall, you've got to train people and make sure that they're aware of it so that they know what their responsibilities are. Because ultimately, if they don't come in and follow those procedures, you're into a breach of health and safety, and there's a lot of emphasis on that from the health and safety executive, and there's a responsibility there of the employer. But of course, by creating that reassurance, you're actually getting people comfortable about coming back into work. If you then get a different kind of resistance of people that say, well, I quite like working from home and rocking up on a Zoom call in my trackies at 9 o'clock, then you start having different conversations with people because you want to make sure there's no concerns. Equally, if people have enjoyed working at home, then let's look at flexibility. Let's look at maybe some time in the office and some time at home. A lot of companies are turning their offices into hubs, and they're actually rotating the staff and making sure people work together. And again, I guess that comes back to that, sort of employee engagement and communication. But for the business owner, regardless of the number of staff, how do I keep my business moving forward? Yeah. Especially because there might be some further challenges.
So we've got lots of information on the Sussex Collaborative website. If anybody wants to take a look on there, you can see more information about what Geoff and Ali do. And we're going to be running a lot of these sessions, so keep an eye out. We're going to be picking up on lots of different topics over the next few months. And I think we'd like to say thank you to the MBAR for hosting us and to Rocket Pond Media for filming today. So yeah, keep an eye out and there'll be more coming soon.